So I got removed from LeftTube, and I'm not surprised. I'm not here to complain about it. Just here to say on the record that yes, I got removed from LeftTube, and to make you understand my perspective a bit more when I express what I say. When it comes to black people, the left are not your allies. The left is actually against you. The left does not want a black agenda. The left does not support a black agenda. The left are enemies of a black agenda. That's why this happens. And that's why I've been saying what I've been saying. But what happens is that seemingly a lot of people don't have critical thinking skills. So they actually think that, oh, you must be saying to go to the right. You must be a right winger. It's like, if that's how you think life works by these Eurocentric social constructs, then good luck for you. Make it clear, black people are not necessarily enemies of leftists. The leftists are enemies of black people. The Eurocentric left are enemies of black people. Black people aren't necessarily trying to get in the way of Eurocentric leftists, but Eurocentric leftists are always getting in the way of black people because they find us to be disruptive. They find us to be opposing of what they want. They find us to be obstacles. So they remove us. They don't mind that. It just basically, they become enemies of black people. Because now, like, you're a fighter for their interests and not the interests of your own kind and not your own people. You can try to make yourself seem like you are, but you're not. When we talk about self-interest, we talk about interests as a group, black people. The fact that that is not seen leftists just shows that the left does not concern themselves with the black agenda. Now, they don't even know what the black agenda is. And since people don't want to just say what stuff is and just make it clear, everything is vague. Nothing has meaning. But I don't care if people get uncomfortable. Like, and people say, oh, you say fuck optics. Jesus Christ, how we get people on your side? By just being honest to them. Being honest to them. Like, if I'm just telling you what this is and you don't like it, then you were never an ally. Why is everybody confused about that? Y'all intentionally tell people to hide your hand and to present yourself in a way that doesn't seem threatening, to lure them onto your side, when in all honesty, if they find out what it is, they're going to leave you the minute they find out. Because congratulations, you got so many people who say they're socialists, but they're not even socialists. Like, you guys don't even know what you're doing. Nothing has actually improved with your strategy. You haven't done anything. Understand that many people are against you. Many people are your enemies. And those are people you have to fight. There is no persuading those people. And if you don't like the idea of violence, then stop pretending as if you're some radical. If you look at those people who are vulnerable and being harmed, the people that you claim to fight for, and you can't even fight for them, you can't even say, I will pick up a tool, or a gardening tool or some shit, a stick, and swing it and fight for you. You was never a fighter for those people. You was nothing. Stop pretending as if you're some hero. I come to the realization that no one even knows what they really want. You know, I can ask people, what do you want? And they can't really tell you what they want. You know, some people think that I'm asking for the genocide of white people. I don't know where I've talked about the genocide of white people. I don't know where I've discussed the genocide of white people. Genocide of white people is not necessary to black liberation. There's nuances to this stuff. I have a clear end goal for myself. So I know what I'm working towards. White people don't know because white people are not interested in black thought. They're not interested in liberation of black people. They feel threatened by it because all the time they hear it, they think they're going to kill me, but they're not trying to say it. They're trying to hide their true power level and not tell me they want to kill me. You guys have this feeling towards black people, but then you want to say, I'm fighting for Black Lives Matter. Like, no, you're not. You're against us. You feel threatened by us. Just stop lying to us. There are so many issues here. And if you want to subject yourself to this center, right, and left shit, that's you. But for me, we need to make our own political spectrum because this stuff does not work for us. It's Eurocentric. It's based in Eurocentric perspectives and circumstances. So it doesn't really help define us very well. So when many people hear this, though, they think that I'm basically saying go to the right. The right will help you because that's the logical fallacy of like right from negative or some shit. I think argument of negative where they think that, oh, the other side must be right if this side is wrong. No. Right, center, and left are all bad when you understand that all this is Eurocentric. Doesn't help black people. So when black people are talking about in their self-interest, they're talking about in their self-interest. Okay, they're talking about what's best for us. Not what's best for the right, not what's best for the center, and not what's best for the left. We are not on this. We're non-binary. If people get off the internet for a minute, right, you will see there's a whole city, whole areas full of black folks. Black people who do sex work, black people who make art, black people who basically make video games, right? Black people who make music. There's a ton of shit going on with black folks, and the left never addresses or even reaches out to these communities. We're never contacted. There's no interest in us. We have to address the needs of our people. Our people are going through problems. There's some issues with housing. There's some issues with like a healthcare. Are people being contacted or people reaching out to our folks? No, they're not. So our women are getting killed. We need to address these things. What about fucking reparations, right? Nobody's addressing these things. So I just don't see the point of being here. I mean, I'm not saying I'm going to drop my philosophy and what I believe in. That's not because I believe in what I believe in. Like, it wasn't because someone on Twitter said this shit and I started believing in it. No, I read shit and I said that was a good idea. I like that. I'm going to take that in and apply that myself in a way that will help benefit my people. That's how I work. So when I read stuff about anarchism, or if I read some stuff about communism, I take some of the ideas and I utilize and try to use some of these ideas to help my people. I go in the direction in which I feel like is best for my people. And I explain to people why I feel like this is best. I generally believe in what I believe in. And a lot of black people I've talked to, just the average everyday black person, when I talked about anarchism, they liked what I was talking about. Because I knew what it was. I explained what it was, and I gave them examples and ways to explain it, and they loved it. So I'm not here, like optics, people talk about optics, you can't persuade people to get on your side. Yet, I was able to get people to get on my side by just telling them honestly what stuff was and being real to them. If they didn't like it, then that means that these people were not necessarily for black liberation. They wasn't for black sovereignty, right? I like that when I'm being honest and I'm showing people what I believe in, their responses can indicate something, right? Some folks are skeptical. Some folks don't know. And I understand that. However, some people are just against you. They do not agree with you, right? Those are your enemies. They do not want what you want. They oppose what you want. And it's not your fault. You're not the reason why they don't agree with you. You're not the reason why they stand opposed to you. Don't blame yourself. Don't think that you are a terrible orator. Don't think that you cannot persuade folks, right? Don't think that you're a terrible speaker. No. They just don't agree with you. That's just what it is. You can say any reasonable thing you can. They will always be against you. That's just how it is sometimes. Don't blame yourself for that. If you create an organization, and this organization is for black liberation, and you have people in that organization that are against black liberation, and the reason they joined was because you told them that, oh, no, I'm for black empowerment, and you was doing this optic game to where you was making yourself look good to where you pleased them to make them feel that you wasn't for black liberation, but you was for something else, right? To make them feel comfortable, that organization is going to fail because the people a part of your organization don't even agree with your agenda. They oppose your agenda. They don't want what you want. And when they find out what you want, what do you think they're going to do to you? They're going to shut that shit down. They're going to shut that shit down and destroy you. Why? Because you want to do the optics game and get people on your side who were against you. What's funny about the optics shit is that Bernie Sanders literally ran a year ago. He ran 2 times and he still lost. He was nice to everybody. He was nice to the conservatives. He was nice to the liberals. He was nice on CNN, Fox News, everything, and he still lost. He was nice to the people that he ran against. He was nice to Elizabeth Warren. He was nice to Joe Biden, and he still lost, and they still slandered him. Understand, these people are your enemies. Why are y'all so stupid? Optics doesn't matter in war. In war, it doesn't matter how you look. They oppose you. They will murder you. It doesn't matter how you look. How many black people have their hands up and they still get shot? Why do y'all keep trying to push optics onto us? It doesn't work. This is a failed strategy. It's a failed strategy. Move on from it. If they don't like you, they're not with you, they're against you. They're your enemies. That's all it is. It's not that deep. It's not that difficult to understand. Everybody's talking about how everybody's a Nazi, but then everybody's like, we can persuade them to come on our side though. They're like the KKK, but then you'd be like, no, we have to sympathize with them. Make your fucking mind. You can't have both. You can't have both. Like, for real, you can't have both. You can't call them the evil reincarnation of the devil. And then next thing you know, you want to think that they can be sympathized and persuaded. The crazy thing to me is y'all put so much time into the KKK, so much time into Nazis and white supremacists than y'all ever do for black people. Because you know what? I don't know what it is. Y'all think that y'all automatically own black people. Y'all think that because black people have no choice but to vote blue, that they're automatically on your side. See, y'all don't own us. Y'all don't get to dictate our destiny. We're going to dictate our own destiny. And if those other people out there don't get it, they're part of the problem too. We want political independence as well. That's a part of the agenda. We are our own group and collective. I personally don't think it's difficult to understand what I'm talking about. Hey, but let me just say that the left is enemies of black people. Black people are not enemies of the left necessarily. Because if you understand, if you preach a black agenda, if you preach black liberation, and you're clear about it, the left is going to ban you. The left opposes black liberation. The Eurocentric left opposes black liberation. Black people do not do anything to harm the left, but the left does things to harm black people. So let's just make that clear. The left has no problem stopping and hindering black progression and black empowerment and a black agenda for their own interests if they feel like it gets in the way. They don't care. They don't care. They do not care. So let me just make it clear. See, I'm not an enemy to the left. The left is an enemy to me. They feel like I'm threatening, and they would do nothing to remove me if they feel like I'm threatening. So yeah, I got banned from the community, and I just want to show y'all this, to put it on the record. Because, I get banned from many places. It's nothing new. It's common. You know what I'm saying? The interest of my content is the fact that I'm polarizing and that I'm a black supremacist, that I'm an ethno-nationalist, and that I'm a fascist, a Nazi, all that shit. But you never hear what I believe in. You can watch a ton of videos of what I believe in. I talk what I believe in. And yet nobody discusses that because for a lot of folks, I am just like a locale. I am just content. I'm something for them to be entertained by. They don't care about the fact that I'm a real human being with real beliefs and interests and a life. They just look at me as something for them to satisfy their curiosity. It's like, when you go at the zoo. That's how they look at me. You know what I'm saying? That's how they look at a lot of us. And I think we should just be aware of that. That's all I'm saying.